If you're struggling with autonomy or you're tired of being micromanaged by your boss or direct reports, then give me the next few minutes to share steps you can use to get yourself out of that situation in the next couple of months. Hi friend, I'm Ayomi everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a tech professional with over 8 years experience, and here I help tech professionals build thriving careers. So let's get into it. So micromanagement can be a very bad thing, especially for people who are techies or who are creatives, because you want the opportunities to explore, you want the opportunities to use your creativity to deliver that project. Every project you see is an opportunity for you to use your intellect to give it your best to deliver high quality work. And so when you're working with a manager who is micromanaging you, who is essentially using you like a tool, like a carpenter uses a nail or a hammer to hit a nail, it feels very bad. It feels very unfair because you're not given the opportunity to do stuff. It feels like your manager is just working through you to deliver the project, always monitoring you, always asking for updates every now and then, always telling you what to do, rather than just giving you oversight, rather than just giving you guidance and giving you the opportunity or giving you some form of opportunity for you to explore. They're always telling you what to do and trying their best to hold you. And it can feel very bad because you want to explore, you want to use your creativity. So how do you get yourself out of this? Now, in my experience, I found out that there are two major reasons why managers micromanage people. One is trust issue, and then the second one is that the manager is just a perfectionist. Now, the tips I'm going to share would help you if you're in a situation where it's based on trust issues. So I'm assuring you that if you follow these tips in the next couple of months, if the reason why your manager is micromanaging you is because of trust issues, because they're not sure of your reliability to the team, or because they're not sure of your ability to deliver that specific project, if you follow the steps that I'm going to give to you in the next couple of months, you'll see them backing off and you see them giving you more autonomy over a period of time. However, if the reason why your manager is micromanaging you is because they're perfectionists, then my recommendation to you is that even after applying the steps I'm going to share, is that you reach out to a stakeholder who is at the same level of your manager or above your manager and have a conversation with them and your manager and see what you can do to just get your manager to give you the space you need. And if you realize that both the stakeholder or the general culture within your organization is that leaders micromanage followers, or leaders micromanage employees, or leaders micromanage their subordinates, then the best thing to do is either decide if you want to stay within that culture or if you want to leave that culture and find an organization that gives you the opportunity to grow and gives you the opportunity to also become a leader and gives you the opportunity to make impact. So let's get right into it. So the first step I'm going to say is that set clear expectations. Now, I'm an expectation guy. Now, even if you watch my YouTube video on productivity, which is going to be linked here, one of the key things I say is to set realistic expectations. But in this case, is to ensure that you set clear expectations with your manager, ensure that you have clarity on the definition of done, ensure that you have a sense of what your manager expects from you in the project, ensure you understand the impact or the importance of the project, how valuable is this project to the team, so it can affect how you bring your A game. If it's a project that has a high impact, if it's a project that is going to be seen by stakeholders who are even above your manager, then you need to bring your A+ game, not just your A game. Then you also need to have conversation about the resources available to you, what are the guys that you can get into the project to work on with you, what's the deadline, or how much leeway do you have to deliver the project. Ensure you just have clear expectations from your manager. And one of the things I found out is that when you're giving a project and the first conversation you have with the stakeholder giving the project are questions to get more clarity, especially if they're intelligent questions, the stakeholder to a very large extent start handing off from the project because they understand that this guy is bringing his A game. This person is asking the right questions, and this person is interested in delivering this project very well because this person cares about knowing what we expect for them. It invariably means that this person is going to do their best to hit the mark because they care about what our mark is. So that's the first thing I would say. All right, so the second thing is proactive communication. So if you've been in a relationship before, I'm sorry if your heart has been broken. I was not intending to use this to trigger you, so apologies. But if you've been in a relationship before, you understand the importance of communication. You understand how trust and communication relate. And it's the same thing in project management. However, in project management, the key thing is proactive communication. One of the symptoms of micromanagement is your manager always reaching out to you, asking for updates. Now, a good way to stop that is by proactively communicating to them so that they don't need to reach out to you. And by doing this for all your projects, you get them to trust you because they know that the only reason why they have not heard from you concerning that project or concerning the deliverable with you is because there is no new information and the project or everything is right on track. So that's like one of the key reasons why managers who micromanage people based on trust always reach out to them asking for updates, because they don't know if this person is good at proactive communication and they don't know if the project is still right on track, and so they have to reach out to you. And so these are the 4 times where you always need to proactively communicate. 1, when there is a new information about the project. So let's say you were working on the project to deliver it to XYZ people, and while you started working on it, a different stakeholder reaches out to you and doesn't tell you, and even if they tell you that they have had a conversation with your manager about it or whoever gave you that project, you need to communicate that information to your manager or to whoever your direct report is immediately. Secondly, when there is a potential change to the deadline. So if the deadline for your project is XYZ time and something either in your personal life or within work or whatever the case may be may affect your ability to deliver that deadline, it is important that you reach out to them. Again, I'm saying when it's a potential, not necessarily when it's already kinetic or when it's already affecting the deadline. The moment you just know that this thing would potentially affect me delivering the deadline, you need to proactively communicate. The third thing is when you're stuck or you need clarity. So you've had a conversation with your stakeholder, you've asked them for expectations, but while working on the project, you just discovered that, okay, you're lacking clarity in XYZ area. You need to reach out to them immediately. Now, if you're stuck, depending on the kind of culture, depending on if you're working for a promotion or depending on if you're trying to show leadership, you might not necessarily want to reach out to your manager and say, oh, I'm working on this and I'm stuck. However, if you're stuck and you still have some way to find the solution to the problem, if you know that the problem you're facing can potentially affect the deadline or can potentially affect the quality of the work you deliver or can potentially require that you need more resources or somebody else to work on it with you, to pair with somebody, to go to an office to talk to somebody, you need to communicate that to your manager or your direct report. Now, the fourth thing, and this is all encompassing all of this, is that when you're proactively communicating to your manager, you need to ensure that you communicate the impact of whatever new information, whatever problem, whatever is happening. You need to communicate it to your manager. If the impact is that you need somebody else to join you to work on it, you need to communicate it. If the impact is that you can still deliver it within the deadline, but it's going to be less quality work, you need to communicate it. If the impact is that, oh, I can deliver high quality based on your expectations, but I need 2 days more. Or if the impact is where I don't think I can work on this and I need you to pair with me on this, you need to communicate it. You need to always ensure that you're communicating the impact. The most important information your manager needs is the impact of the new information you have on the project or on the deliverable to them. So please note this when you're communicating to them. The third thing is taking initiative. Now, there is no easier way to show a person that you can independently deliver stuff than to independently deliver stuff. And that's literally the meaning of taking initiative. So it's you finding little wins, you finding wins outside your direct stuff that your manager has given to you or that your stakeholders have given you responsibility over, to look for opportunities to impact the business. So let's say you have XYZ project, but while you're working on XYZ project, you just notice there is something else in the business that you can do something about. You do it, you deliver it in time without it affecting the main project you have been given. It builds trust with your manager, because if you can deliver the main project given to you while he was micromanaging you and still take initiative and deliver all that stuff, then probably he's just wasting his time micromanaging you. Now, one of the things people need to understand is that, again, except your manager is just a perfectionist, right? And I already gave you a tip on what to do about that. But if the issue your manager is having with you is trust, you should understand that the more they see you take initiative, the more they themselves want to hands off, because managers have a number of people that they are responsible for, and the less people that they can be in their face or in their nose actively in every day, the better for their mental health, the better for them, and the better for their productivity, because most managers want a team of winners. And so the more you take initiative and show your manager that you can win or you can deliver stuff outside their active handholding or outside their active micromanagement, the more they're hands off and the more they give you the leeway for you to do stuff and deliver projects on your own. Now, another thing I would say is this, which is leverage your teammates. Now, your manager might be loggerhead and your manager might be fixed in, and while you're doing all of those things I've said, your manager might not necessarily see all these things. They might not necessarily see the proactive communication as your own initiative. They might just see it as them asking you questions and stuff like that. A good way to be able to, outside your manager, show your manager that you can deliver work is by showing it to the rest of your teammates. So the more your manager is hearing good reports from your colleagues saying, oh, this AY jumped on the call and paired with me and helped me ship the stuff. The more your manager is saying XYZ mentioning you, oh, AY, thanks for helping me to do this. The more your manager is seeing good reports of you doing work, taking initiative and delivering work and helping your teammates unblock them, jumping on their project and helping them deliver the project, the more you're getting kudos from your teammates, the easier it is for your manager to hands up. And this now goes to my 5th point, which is this, and very important. Have a one-to-one conversation with your manager. Now, but before you go have this conversation with your manager, ensure you've done everything I've said and ensure that you document your wins, because you can then ask your manager and say, hi, I've been working with you and I know that you want me to deliver high quality work, and that's the reason why you're always supervising me tightly. But I feel that I can deliver projects better than this, and these are my wins. I have taken initiative on this. I'm always communicating to you. I'm helping my colleagues and unblocking them. So I feel that I have earned myself the right to be able to use my own intellect, the right to be able to use my intellectual property, the right to have some leeway to use my creativity to deliver high quality work, and the right for me to move to the next step towards leadership within this organization. And if your manager is a good manager, and if the only reason why your manager is micromanaging you is because of trust issues, I'm assuring you that if you do this in the next couple of months, your manager would hands off, and your manager would understand that you've proven to them that you've earned the right to be a leader, and you've earned the right to take initiative, you've earned the right to work on projects on your own, and you've proven to them that you're a reliable member of the team. All right, friends, I'm Micromanaging every day, and like I said, I'm here as much as I can, helping you to build a thriving career. See you next time.